We got a release date for the new Avatar movie, and unfortunately, it is coming to streaming. This is the Cartoon Palooza. Welcome to my channel, where on Tuesdays we talk about news around the industry, and then on the weekends I review an animated film or show. And this one's a big one because for a while, Avatar Studios, the studio behind Avatar: The Last Airbender, and the live action remake, and this new movie coming out, are finally releasing a fully animated film featuring the original gang: Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Zuko. Oh, and how could I forget Toph? Going on a new adventure with some amazing looking animation and some new voice actors. I would highly recommend that you watch the trailer if you haven't had a chance to do so already. But unfortunately, it comes after some bad news, as this was a movie that was leaked online after Paramount Studios pretty much confirmed that this movie wouldn't be coming out into theaters and would instead be releasing online, and I think that resulted in somebody leaking the film. So according to this article that I have here from IGN, Avatar Aang: The Last Airbender leaked to Twitter in April, months before its scheduled release on Paramount Plus. The account that first leaked the movie said someone at Paramount owned Nickelodeon accidentally emailed them the full film. However, according to Variety, the initial investigation determined that the vulnerability had nothing to do with Paramount systems. After the X Twitter account posted the initial clips of the movie, the entire leaked film online from another account, a 26-year-old man was subsequently arrested in Singapore. And in a lot of ways, I could understand your frustration that this movie doesn't come out into theaters. But to do that to fans, that doesn't help the cause. That just makes it feel even worse when you're doing that, because now you've got people thinking that this fan base is immature. If this is how you're going to respond to something not coming out into theaters, I totally get that. But don't leak the whole film online. Avatar fans were looking forward to seeing the movie in theaters. Questioned the decision, which came as a surprise in the context of the huge box office success anime films enjoyed last year. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, for example, grossed an incredible $774 million at the global box office. Even now, with Avatar Aang: The Last Airbender's July 25th release on Paramount Plus confirmed, fans continue to call for a theatrical release. So, yeah, I mean, at that point, I think that makes sense. But at the end of the day, I just feel like in our culture, we just have this tendency to not release things into theaters, especially when it comes to animation. But I would even argue just the general trend of how Hollywood has been going. I think going to the theaters has been less about, the box office numbers and more focused on the experience. I don't know about you, but like going to a theater has been so expensive. And now that you can watch movies online with a streaming service, granted, you probably have to have like 10 dozen streaming services to figure out which one that you want. It really does seem that Hollywood studios tend to prefer releasing their films online as opposed to taking the hit of having to release it in theaters. So I do think that there is a consequence to this that goes beyond just this being, oh, because it's animated, it's not going to make money, we're not going to release it. Like, this is different from the situation with Coyote versus Acme, where Coyote versus Acme was a completed film, completely shelved, because they already wrote it off as a failure. That, to me, is a completely different situation as opposed to this. There was always a plan to release this film, but it was just going to be coming out on streaming as opposed to coming out into theaters, or just getting rid of that decision. Because as of now, again, I don't know if you've ever been to the theaters. It's not the same as it used to be. Honestly, COVID really does feel like the death blow when it comes to getting films sent to theaters. But you look at this trailer, you really feel like there's so much passion that comes out of it. The animation looks 10 times better than anything that I've seen. And there's a new voice cast. They've got very popular actors. Dave Bautista is playing a character in this movie. You got Steven Yeun from Invincible playing a character in this movie. And you got other actors like Taika Waititi, who pretty much is just in anything nowadays. But at one point, there was a time where watching a Taika Waititi movie felt very special, but then Lightyear came out, and I think kind kind of messed up that expectation. So yeah, I got a lot of thoughts about this. I am looking forward to the film. When I did find out that it leaked, it did leave me feeling very disappointed. Like, there is a part of me that would love to have seen this in the theaters. There is a part of me that would have loved to embrace this, and maybe one day through like Fathom screenings they change their mind. But at this point, it's too short-sighted. I mean, July 25th is the official release date of when it's going to be on streaming, and at that point, any sort of ideas or things coming forward with it coming out into theaters, I don't think is going to end up happening. But why don't you share me your thoughts on this? Let me know what you think. And as always, if you like this content or you want to see more stuff, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy this video and take care.